TTwinsFit here. Happy Monday. It's our Mindset Monday. So again, going from last week we were on letter E. This week we are letter F.
Woo! Moving on.
And our word of the day, Aim, is
fear.
Fear.
Scary word.
Yes, kind of going what Aim said. It is a scary word, and I think it's a word that a lot of times all of us are afraid to admit that we have. We're afraid to admit that we're scared, that, we have fear inside of us, for whatever we are trying to achieve. And I think it's one thing that I think is the most important thing to embrace in life is your fear or whatever you're scared of, because once you kind of take a hold of it and you own it, I think that's when you're really going to kind of figure out who you are and be successful ultimately. So
when your character really shines through, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to, being able to figure out, one, be able to admit what your fears are. Because I think a lot of times, we try and be like, oh, no, like, I got this, I'm brave, and I can do this. But a lot of times just being open and true to yourself and being able to kind of admit your fears is kind of step one, so.
Definitely. I think our bodies are, made to have that instinct where we fear something and we're scared. Our body makes that is a natural reaction to kind of have the adrenaline going, be like, oh my God, like, we can't do this. But like Lauren said, kind of reiterating, like embracing that fear and kind of realizing it's similar to that comfort zone where you realize, all right, well, like, this is scary and I'm nervous and I don't know what's going to happen. The fear comes when you don't know what's going to happen on the other side. It's risky, but again, it's high risk.
The unknown is
high
scary.
Risk, better high reward. So I mean that comes in the stock markets, every part of your day. Just really kind of taking that and going for it and running for it. That's where the most exciting things happen. If we think back to some of the experiences in our lives, it was the most fearful, nerve-wracking situations, games or ceremonies or whatever it was, races. That's when it came down to it, where we actually really, like, at the end of it, you feel accomplished. When you fear something, whether it may be heights or roller coasters, when you accomplish that, it's that feeling after the fact, that kind of, feeling of accomplishment and reward. You can't match that. Like, that's something that's gonna just, put you in a high and a great
absolutely
feeling.
So, I mean, I think if your dream and goals, my battery's dying, so my phone doesn't last more than an hour. But I think to kind of finish off here is if your dreams aren't scary, or if your kind of goals that you have kind of set for yourself, aren't a little bit scary. I'm not saying that they should be the most kind of, you don't even want to touch them, but you should be a little bit nervous. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to complete this.
We're scared. I mean, when we run our own business, like, you just never know. But again, we have this huge vision and we're not stopping until we get there. And, every day is a little fearful.
Scary as shit.
But we're going for it. And, it's exciting at the same time. It's fearful, but it's also exciting. So, and it's what we know we're meant to do. It's our purpose. It's our passion.
Basically, you control it, and we got to get out of our own way and out of each other's way. And we know, once we kind of just keep believing and staying positive, that's the only way we'll get through it.
So long story short, get rid of that fear. Fear is really just a limit, so get rid of that limit for yourself. Again, easier said than done, but we're here to help motivate you. Hopefully this Mindset Monday video will get you started on the right track for the week, and maybe pick that one fear this week, whether maybe it's a project or whatever it is. Pick it and, go after it and try and, diminish it or wash it away.
Everybody, be fearless this week.
Be fearless.
All right, have a good Monday. Have a good week. Bye, guys.